The Mental Health Show with Mark Haston.
Hello, I'm Mark Haston. Like so many of us, I'm extremely saddened to hear the news that we have lost Quentin Kenihan. Quentin was much loved. He was an entertainer, he was an actor, he was a disability advocate, and just recently he was an Adelaide City Council nominee. Quentin was 43 when he passed away on Saturday night. Despite suffering from severe disabilities, Quentin achieved so much, and he was so brave. And I guess if one was lucky enough to have known the little man, then I'm sure that you would know just how determined he was to achieve despite his restrictions. And if you were lucky enough to meet Quentin, then what it would do is, or it certainly did it for me, was it put into perspective so many things in life. The importance, for example, of learning to be resilient. The importance of learning how to fight for what you believe in. Believing in oneself and not sweating that bloody small stuff that we all tend to do. Earlier this year I had the pleasure of speaking with Quentin on my mental health show, and I'd like to play that for you now, but please understand that there are some topics within the interview that to some may be confronting.
Well, you may remember my next guest when he was interviewed by Mike Willesee as a 7-year-old. Take a listen to this.
We'll play a game.
Okay.
Every time you do a proper answer, you get a point.
Okay.
Every time you give a dumb answer, I get a point. First one up to 5. If you win, we go to the supermarket.
Okay.
Okay.
If you win?
No supermarket.
Okay.
Let's go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How important is it for Quentin to walk?
Very.
But he is a lot more talkative these days, and he is arguably Australia's most unique celebrity, but he is much, much more than that. Quentin, welcome along to the Mental Health Show. How are you, mate?
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for having me.
You're busy. You've been so busy for such a long time, haven't you?
Well, got to make a living these days.
For those who don't know who you are and why you're unique, please tell us.
My name is Quentin. I'm a Pisces.
I love walks along the beach. I love
No, I don't actually. I get bogged. I'm in a wheelchair. I have a genetic disorder called osteogenesis imperfecta, which means my bones are very fragile. And I was made famous at a young age by Mike Willesee, who put me in a documentary, which is Australia's highest rating documentary. And people followed my story, and I became a filmmaker and a celebrity and a TV host and an actor, and now I'm working radio.
Quentin, when you look back, and I know that you were only 7 at the time, so it's probably difficult to remember exactly what was going on back in those days. But when you do look back to a younger age, did you feel confident, given your health issues, that you would make it to the age you are now?
Oh, look, I was just taking it one day at a time. I really didn't think about it. I was more worried about, when I was going to watch the next episode of Spider-Man rather than whether I was going to make it or not. I just knew that I was in a lot of pain. I was going through a lot of stuff, and that it was just something that I had to go through and toughen up.
In terms of encouragement, who have been the people a number of years ago and perhaps more recently who have been your mentors, who have given you encouragement, personal encouragement?
Oh, look, I'll say that my brother, Miles, is definitely my rock. He is a good sounding board. He's also one of my best mates, and throughout childhood, I relied on him, and then as I grew older, I got some mentors that helped me in the business sense about how to create television and how to be a filmmaker and how to produce TV shows. And, I've got friends like Russell Crowe who mentor me in the ways of acting. And, I find mentors and people like that throughout life. You learn a little bit from everyone.
Are you a mentor to others? Do you feel as though you are a mentor to other people?
At a certain point, I think it was around 35. I got to the age of 35, and I thought, now I'm confident in teaching other people what I've learned. So I started teaching at TAFE colleges and universities about filmmaking and about television techniques and things like that, and how to inspire people. But until then, there was always that hunger, that drive, that thirst of, oh no, I may not make it, I may still be forgotten. But at 35, I got a handle on the fact that I'd gained enough success and a body of work, and also a head full of knowledge that says, righto, you can pass that on to someone else.
One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you on the Mental Health Show is that so many of those who have mental health issues, or perhaps are simply not confident in changing their life, in tackling something new, in getting a new job, so many people struggle with that because they lack that.
So do I.
Yeah, perhaps.
So do I. Look, I'm on antidepressants, and I have been on antidepressants for a good 10 years. You don't break over 500 bones and suffer the mental scars as well as the physical ones. And I'm honest in saying that there have been times where, I haven't gone out of the house for a month, or there have been times where I've felt, like topping myself. And these are the times where I really look to people like my psychologist and friends to help me get myself out of those ruts, because you can get lost in that dark place where you don't know where you can get out of. And I think my greatest drive has been a selfish drive of being a financial one. And I know that sounds silly, but if I don't have the quality of life I want, I get more depressed, so then I'm forced to go out and work. And working gets me out, it gets me active, and it gets me enjoying life again, because it's really what I love to do. It gets me involved with people, and I remain happy.
You make a really interesting point about the fact that there have been times where you've felt extremely low and thought about doing something to finish it all. What has been the main driver that has changed your mind on that act, on that potential act?
Stuffing it up.
Stuffing it up.
Honestly, yeah.
Really?
Sometimes the reason why I haven't gone through with it is because I haven't thought it out properly. I haven't guaranteed to myself that it would be one shot and that's all over. I don't want to. If I did ever decide to do it, I wouldn't want to do it and stuff it up and end up worse off than I was in the first place. So I've gotten to that point and gone, okay, I've checked all the boxes here, but what if it doesn't work? And then I decide, well, maybe I should just rethink this, have a cup of tea and a lie down, and rethink it tomorrow. And usually tomorrow I feel completely different.
Is that right? So 24 hours,
Yeah.
24 hours later, Quentin.
Yeah, all you need to do is just step away from the problem, and rethink it. You've got to come from the headspace of, okay, you feel like crap today. You may feel like crap tomorrow, but it doesn't mean you have to feel like crap every day. And if you've gone through so much in your life, why are you stopping now? These are the questions that I try to ask myself. And usually that's what pulls me out of it.
When you when you, I'll ask that again. What was the trigger, Quentin, that that motivated you to go to a psychiatrist and then walk out? I'm sorry. I'll start that again.
You can say it. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, mate. You can say that.
What was the trigger a number of years ago that sparked something in your mind that you thought, you know what, I need to see someone, I think I might need to be on antidepressants? What was the trigger for that?
I'd been in a relationship with a woman and I did not handle it very well at all. It was none of her doing, it was all my doing. I didn't accept the fact that she wanted to be with me because of who I was.
Mm.
You know, she didn't care about my disability. She didn't care about the fact that I was famous. In fact, she hated the fact that I was famous. She just wanted to hang out with me.
Mm.
And I didn't deal with that at all well because I was thinking, well, you could be going out with someone else. You could be doing this. You could be doing that. Why are you hanging out with me? And so I started acting out on it, and I would drink heavily, and I would make an idiot of myself when we were out, or we'd have an argument, and I'd regret it the next day. And ultimately, the relationship ended, and it was completely my fault. And I knew it was my fault, but I didn't know how to rectify myself. And so a friend of mine who was living next door at the time, she was a psychologist, and she said, look, you really need to go talk to someone about this.
Mm.
And someone independent of your family, someone independent of your friends that can give you a fresh perspective on things, that can help professionally provide the answers. And so I did. And it's been working ever since.
Did you, and I'm really interested in this, and I would presume our listeners will be too, once you started taking the antidepressants, how long did it take you to start feeling different? And more specifically, what was the feeling? What was the difference between how you felt initially and how you felt afterwards? Can you explain that?
I didn't feel as though I had this cloud over me. I don't know if that's the right analogy, but I didn't feel as though I was waking up to nothingness. You know, once you've done everything that I've done, you know, certain things can become a bit blasé. And so the monotony of every day was starting to get a bit too much. And so I was constantly down on myself. And when the antidepressants started kicking in, I wasn't so down on myself.
Mm.
I wasn't constantly beating myself up about, you have to try harder, you have to do things. It was more about just let things happen.
Yes.
Let the world take you to where it's got to be, you know.
Did, if you don't mind me asking, were there side effects that you noticed?
The libido goes a bit.
Say that again?
And that's about it. The libido goes a bit.
Yep.
That's all right. I'm not using them anymore.
That was about the only one. I mean, the thing that annoys me so much about antidepressants is that so many of them have so many different side effects. It's quite.
Look, I was on a different one to start off with, and I was just fall asleep. You know, and so that took a bit of a chat with my GP, and we just talked about the different side effects of each one, and we found one that actually worked, and I think I've been on that ever since.
What space are you in now? What headspace are you in right now?
I'm in a great place, man. I'm having a great time in life. You know, I'm extremely fulfilled creatively. Financially, I could be better, but, you know, so could everyone else. Medically, I'm okay. I'm just enjoying life at the moment. I'm enjoying the space I'm in at the moment, you know, and I think I'm at a content point where I haven't been in a while. You know, usually things have been either down or up, or now I'm getting into a real comfortable space where, you know, I know what I'm doing next year. I've got my contract for next year. Everything's good that way. I don't have to. All I have to do now is think creatively, and I love doing that, and that's where I'm happiest.
You, of course, have written a book. When did you publish that? When was that published,
That
Quentin?
was published in November last year.
Yeah.
Called Not All Superheroes Wear Capes.
I would recommend that all listeners to the Mental Health Show purchase that book, because...
Oh, thanks, mate.
No, that's fine. But I mean that quite sincerely, because you see, a lot of us, I can say us, a lot of us feel sorry for ourselves. A lot of us say, woe is me. A lot of us say, you know, why was I given or dealt this hand in life? But Quentin, in terms of being dealt a hand that was different, there wouldn't be too many who have been dealt a hand like yours, and yet...
Yeah, but it's all relative, Mark. Do you understand? Like, the way I see it is, I don't know what lot you've lived through. You don't know what Joe Bloggs has lived through, you know. We can all feel sorry for our lot in life. We can all feel that our lives could be better. And I realised this, that I had very little empathy for people. You know, what's wrong with you? Oh, your knee's sore. Mate, I've broken my back before. You know, blah, blah, blah. That was the wrong feeling. I should have had empathy for the guy who's hurt his knee or who's feeling bad, because he probably doesn't know how to deal with it, whereas I do. You see what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So I feel a lot more empathy for people these days who go through mental health issues, because they may not be at a point where they can handle it. And instead of just brushing them off, I try to do empathy and understanding to try and see where they're at before I make a judgment.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, because as you would know, that is the goal of the show, the Mental Health Show, because for so long...
I think what you're doing, Mark, is great, you know. I think it's about time that someone approached this subject positively with a bit of clarity, and, you know, you should be thanked for doing so.
Well, thank you, Quentin. I appreciate that. I'm probably doing it for therapy for myself as well, so I'm probably being a little bit selfish.
And that's great. Nothing wrong to be selfish with it as well. You know, you're doing it for the right reasons. You're saying, I want to help myself and help others. I think it's great.
Yeah, well, it certainly helped me, that's for sure, and I hope it's helped others. Quentin, if you don't mind, back to you now.
Sure.
What would you... I'm sure you've written goals down. Well, you've certainly obviously written goals down about next year, and you're going to achieve those. What other massive goals have you set, or would you like to set to achieve in your life?
Look, at the moment, I've done pretty... I used to write myself bucket lists. And I used to write bucket lists of things that I wanted to achieve in life, you know. I wanted to get to the Oscars, and I wanted to meet this person, and I wanted to, you know, accomplish this goal. I've pretty much done everything I wanted to do, you know. Now I just want to sit around and enjoy it. You know, I would love if I can go overseas to America and visit my friends in America. I would dearly love to do that. I want to be around to be in the next Mad Max movie. I would dearly love to do that. I'm signed up for the sequel, though. Don't tell anyone. I would dearly love to do that. You know, there are certain creative goals I feel as though I haven't gotten to, both online and in radio, that I haven't achieved yet. I think next year is going to be a big tipping point for me as far as whether I can reach those goals, which is why I'm so looking forward to next year. And just to stay healthy. I've only been in hospital once this year, which has been good. Only nearly died once, which is great.
Was that a chest infection?
No, I got influenza B, mate. It's all
that.
the stupid things. The flu was going to knock me off. But no, I got through that, and I just want to stay happy and healthy. Focus on what's coming up next year. Have a good break over Christmas with the family. Things are looking pretty up and at 'em for me next year. I'm really, it's going to be good.
That's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, Quentin. And your story over the years has inspired many, and I hope those who are listening this evening are as inspired as people have been, over the years with people who have followed you. Did you catch up with Mike? I mean, obviously, I saw the catch up with Mike Willisey a couple of years ago or 12 months ago. Of course, he's unwell now. Have you caught up with him or spoken to him about his issues?
Yeah, I have spoken to him, and he's got a lot of faith in the Lord and God, and he's pretty optimistic about his prognosis. And look, who knows what the world holds for Mike? He's certainly had a wonderful life and a great career, and we chatted about his prognosis and how he's feeling. He's been through a very rough patch. He's happy he's got his voice back. He was very worried that he was going to lose his voice. So he's happy he hasn't lost that, but he's just taking it one day at a time and listening to the doctors and doing what he's told, and hopefully he'll get through it. And he knows that there's love between him and me. We've had our issues in the past, but he's like family. You have a fight, you get back together. It's all good.
And it's all good that you spoke to us on the Mental Health Show, Quentin, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck next year.
My pleasure.
Good luck next year. Good luck today.
Thank you, buddy.
And I look forward to talking to you.
And can I just say to the listeners, take it one day at a time, folks. Don't think that today is your best day or your worst day or your last day. Always think about your decisions and think about the weight that they have on your life, and don't take it so seriously.
Quentin, thank you.
No worries, buddy.
See and listen to more now at AuscastNetwork.com.